Yeah.
And so I don't want to know.
I wouldn't be.
And I mean, it's just they're selling that data. Data sells.
Yeah.
That's actually something that my financial technology company is doing. Is we are selling data, as well. It's a form of revenue, and so they're saying they're selling this data. Some of this data, they could tell an insurance company, hey, this guy, he's on Facebook quite a lot, or he's looking at this on Facebook. He's looking at this on his phone. He's doing this during this time. Are these tendencies to maybe, increase his rate?
Right.
And so, and a guy very, very involved with cybersecurity told me this. And I was like, that is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because one time I was dogs in this house. My mom came over to drop off something or whatever, and we were talking, and she said the name Alexa. And then the music starts playing. I was like, someone in here? And she's like freaking out. And then starts playing like Michael Jackson or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was so scared, dude.
And now they're able to connect to your home and power lights and locks and stuff like that. You can get but that's the future, man.
Yeah.
That is the future.
We're not gonna have dogs anymore. We're gonna have a bunch of Alexas in the house, dude. Just hanging out in the shower.
Right.
Rough.
Alexa's gonna fetch you a beer. Right. That's funny.
Alexa, bush latte. No, I'm just kidding. So that's all the business questions I have for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's no problem. I know a lot of people, I don't know if you guys that are streaming right now have questions. I know people did say they wanted to ask some questions. If you guys want to ask those now, go ahead and ask some of these questions. You guys can hit me with anything, hit Buck with anything. We're just having a good time here. It was cool that he invited me to be on the podcast.
In my closet.
And basically, we're basically in a closet, but it's a good time. It was it was pretty cool of you to invite me onto this and talk about business. I mean, it's a journey that a lot of people have found fascinating. Just my beginning part of the journey.
Yeah.
Because I am going against the grain of what society kind of expects me of where I came from to be.
Yeah.
Again, I should be working on a farm. I should be wrenching on cars. I should be, working at blue collar. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working blue collar. But that's what, and so for me to go down this path that I'm on, a lot of people aren't betting on me.
Right.
A lot of people aren't putting their chips on me, and I'm, and it's fine. It's totally fine. I have said this before. I have no business being in business.
Yeah.
Based off of where I came from, theoretically.
Yeah.
But here I am. I'm making something out of really nothing. I mean, theoretically. Yeah. And so when I was bumping heads, I had a friend who he was born in a multi-million-dollar home. He was born in a very big home in a very successful family. His dad was a VP of a company back in Wisconsin, of business operations back for $1 billion company, and we were bumping heads. And it's like, where you came from, if you were to go work on cars,
yeah,
everybody would, crap their pants.
Yeah.
If you were to go and start wrenching on cars, people would lose their mind. Like, what is this kid doing? How could he do that? How could he go and want to work on a farm when he comes from a dad that's a, multi-millionaire?
Right. Kind of rude.
And so the fact that I'm trying to go in what people expect that kid to do in his life, it's tough. But nobody would do that if it were based off of where I came from. My dad's a prison guard. Mm-hmm. My stepmom works for U.S. Bank, and my real mom, she's disabled.
Yeah.
So for me to go down the path that I'm on, nobody's betting on me,
mm-hmm.
because it's just I don't have anything to relate to, and so I've had to learn. I've had to get those mentors. I had to get all those people. But we had a couple questions come in, and I like this one. Who's your biggest inspiration?
Well, I'd say I'm just kidding.
Honestly, family, just the whole family. And so I've had people ask me, they say, Brandon, are you in it for the money? Are you in entrepreneurship for the money? Are you in business for the money? No, I'm in business to help my family. And basically, like the story that I told you, I don't want my family to worry about finances. I don't want my nieces and nephews to worry about, I want them to have the best opportunity the world can offer. Yeah. If my one nephew, he's very, very, I'll say nerdy. He's a smart kid. And if he wants to go, to a NASA camp that costs $1,000 to fly out to a NASA camp and he can learn about spaceships. I want him to do that. If my one other nephew, he wants to go play football and he wants to go to this huge camp, I want him to go to that and have the best opportunity to be the best at what he wants to do or she wants to do, as my niece.
Yeah.
And so that's my motivation. That's my biggest inspiration, is my family, my whole family. And so that's what inspires me each every day. The cool stuff, the cool cars, the big houses, the private jets, that stuff will come.
Mm-hmm.
But let's do what I want to do first and accomplish what I want to do first financially for my family.
Yeah.
And my one mentor, he said, Brandon, but what are you going to do after that? And because he said, you're going to accomplish that. So what are you going to do after you've helped your family? Well, I'll rewrite my goals at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I'll rewrite my goals at that point and we'll decide. And that's probably when I'm going to go to the community. I have a very big plan back in the hometown where I come from to help try to revitalize the microbrewery that was in my town.
Yeah.
It's still there. This thing is hundreds of years old. It would be a huge community goal of mine to go back there, completely gut it, create another Tiger Brewery in Princeton, Wisconsin, and help the community on my dollar, on my dime. And so, you know, that's something that inspires me. And so we had a couple of, you know, where we're from, it's okay to conform to just an entry level job. It is. And it is okay to conform to an entry level job. So for me to kind of bust those chains to want to go to a higher job, it's hard because where I come from and where we come from.
Right.
Let's see, you know, one of my friends, they said, you still live in your roots and you have, you know, he says you'll have a big pickup one day. I used to drive a big pickup truck in high school. Any tips for starting up a company? Yes. There are a lot of tips to starting up a company. You have to do market research. Of course, you have to know who's out there. If you're going to stand in front of an investor, I hope you guys know, if you do want to, you know, start your own company and you go to try to ask for capital and you say, "Oh yeah, we're the first ones to do this. We're the only ones in the market." It's a huge red flag. So make sure that you have competition because it means that it's a valuable market. It's you know, not oversaturated, but there's money to be made. And so people will ask, you know, what are you doing differently? How are you doing things differently? So yes, I would say, you know, do your market research and just dive in and see who's out there, what they're doing, what you can do differently. And that's in regards to even if you want to start a t-shirt company. There's a lot of people starting t-shirt companies, I will say that, but maybe your difference is where you source the product from. Maybe because U.S. sourced product for clothing is very rare. Maybe you're trying to sell t-shirts and product that's sourced out of the U.S. That is a very good goal. But just do your market research on how you're going to be different, how you're going to do better, and seek those investors to help you raise that capital. We have another question here. It was. I appreciate everybody tuning in. This is awesome. A lot of fun. This is great. And he, you know, what kind of traits do you look for in a person you are putting on your team? That's a great question. That is a great question. Damon, thanks for submitting that. There's a huge question. So I've actually had a lot of friends, especially as they were trying to, you know, starting to see this success build up with my fintech company and development. They'll ask, "Hey, how can I help?" or "What can I do?" And it's really tough. It is really tough because sometimes, you know, I'm trying to build the best team that I can build. Mm-hmm. And some of my team members right now, so these guys out of India are 30, 40, 50 years old, 50-year-old guys that could be my dad. And they're looking at a 22-year-old trusting me on what I want this company to do and what I want the direction of this company to go. Mm-hmm. That doesn't just speak of, you know, people say, "Oh, that speaks a lot about you and your character and your mindset." Sure, but that speaks a lot about those individuals. Yeah. And being able to humble themselves enough to say, let's trust this 22-year-old. Yeah. Let's trust this kid to develop this next, you know, company. And so that speaks a lot of, about my team. And so I want the best team. So in regards to my fintech company and what we're doing, we specialize in gift card processing, and management. So we are on the gift card aspect of a financial technology company. And so I want my team to have the most experience in financial technology